Here in this video we will showcase the differences between the Monsterverse Godzilla and the new Minus One Godzilla, two versions of the King of the Monsters that we are expecting to see within a year's time. We shall take a look at their sizes, their overall body design, their face, dorsal plates, tail, legs, personality and all that, comparing one to another. So let's get into it. Firstly, let's start with size. The Monsterverse G-Man was originally 355 feet or 108 meters tall in his first appearance, but in King of the Monsters and onwards, he is 393 feet or 119.8 meters in height. Godzilla Minus One, on the other hand, is planned to be more in the lines of the original Showa's size, being not too big as to make him indifferent to humans, just around the size that would make him both terrifying and also able to interact with people on a more believable level. We have estimated his size on our previous video to be around 60 meters or roughly 200 feet in height, half the size of the Monsterverse Titan. Now to the overall body. Let's start with coloration and scales. The Monsterverse version has grayish-black tone overall with slight brownish elements and highlights. His scales are more crocodilian in design with repetitive scale structure and a set of gills on his neck. He also has osteoderms that seem to be symmetrical in placement and appearance in both sides of his body. The Minus One, however, has a more rough texture. His coloration is dark brown and black with grayish overtones. His scales and osteoderms seem to be uneven all over the place like pebbles, bringing a more eldritch theme to the game. They look rougher and seems to overlay a message of a nuclear charring with a rocky stone appearance. He also doesn't seem to possess any signs of visible gills. Now what about their head and face? The Monsterverse Godzilla has a square-shaped face and a wide neck. The eyes are small and have golden yellow color, while the teeth are smaller and less neatly arranged. They just seem to come out from the scales. The nostrils are separate and positioned on opposite sides of the snout, further enhancing his reptile-like appearance. Minus One, however, has a more scary, sinister look. His face is more like the Heisei/Stan Winston's failed design and Final Wars hybrid, with a more curved snout and having a feline look. His eyes are bright yellow in color with visible pupils and a set of rows of osteoderms lining the top of his head like the original design. They look like braids. His teeth are well defined, looking like swords that jut out from both the upper and lower jaws. Now let's go to the dorsal plates. In the 2014 Godzilla design, the dorsal plates on his back are smaller compared to the Japanese adaptations. However, they still maintain the maple leaf shape, although in a straighter, sharper look, resulting in a more jagged appearance, like a chainsaw. The 2019 version has a different approach. Instead of a jagged and straight look, this iteration features more protrusions on his back, and also the maple leaves seem to look more noticeable. Notably, the three prominent central dorsal plates in the middle of his back retain the same shape as the originals. Minus One's most prominent difference from most other Godzillas are his dorsal plates. They do not have that traditional maple leaf. Although certain elements of it are still seen, his dorsal plates look like gigantic thorns or sword tips emerging from a central stem. They are done so to give the Godzilla a horrific appearance, with everything in his body screaming out death and destruction, compared to the flatter and more docile look of the Monsterverse plates. Now let's take a look at their arms and feet. Monsterverse feet are larger and more robust compared to previous iterations, with a distinct dinosaur sauropod-like appearance. They feature 3 toes with thick rounded claws, providing stability and emphasizing his powerful presence. As for his arms, they are relatively short in proportion to his body, reflecting the aquatic origins of the character. These arms are muscular but not as prominently visible as his massive legs. Both hands and feet feature black claws. Minus One Godzilla also have massive thick legs, which seem to have drawn inspiration from Singular Point's Godzilla's design. They are also dinosaurian in appearance but look more theropod-like rather than the sauropod-ish feet of the Monsterverse. Instead of 3 big toe claws, he has 4 of them with long black claws. His arms are small in size relative to his feet, but the hands possess eagle-like talons meant for devastation and killing. Now what about the tail? Monsterverse's tail is pretty long. It started out as being very thick, stemming out from the back of the torso and gradually thinning out to a sharp end. The entire tail is lined with triangular plates and osteoderms, each of them still a viable storage of nuclear power. He uses his tail for both combat against other titans and also for swimming around the world's oceans. Minus One's tails also start out as being very thick and robust, but the entire length of it seems to be more of the same thickness, although gradually becoming smaller to the extremity. It appears to be tube-like in shape with the thorny scales and plates on it. The end of the tail also differs in that it is round instead of being pointy like the Monsterverse's one. Now strangely, let's take a look at his underbelly. Well, the inner parts of every Godzilla, meaning his belly and chest, all differ from one another as well. The Monsterverse version has a big belly with a muscular chest, and the scales seem to form some sort of plates right on the middle of the breast section. Several of these make Godzilla look like he got abs. Cool. But Minus One has the same rough, uneven, scaly texture even in his undersides, although there seems to be several row segmentations near his pelvic region. His chest, on the other hand, look like two massive pegs which have third-degree burns and cluttered with rock, but that's just my observation. What do you guys think? Since we know nothing about Minus One's powers, we shall take a look at the personalities, the differences. Well, in the Monsterverse, he is depicted, Godzilla, as a solitary and enigmatic creature. He possesses a strong sense of territory, asserting dominance over his domain and defending it fiercely from threats. Godzilla's behavior suggests a sense of balance and order in the natural world. His presence helps restore ecological equilibrium, maintaining a delicate balance in the Earth's ecosystem. He is classified as a benevolent, protector titan by Monarch. As for the Minus One Godzilla, we do not know much about his overall personality, but we can say that he will be a force of destruction, not a kaiju that has a soft feeling for humanity. Since he will be portrayed as a monster that brings back the horror elements, he will no doubt be humanity's enemy and therefore will be seen as an evil entity. So those are the differences between the Monsterverse and the Minus One Godzillas. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button for support and subscribe to push us through the algorithm of YouTube. But most of all, smash that bell icon for regular updates on new videos like this on this channel. Take care, fam.